Bernadette defends herself. Father of rich scions, like, I want y'all dead now.
Let's go to Malifaux. You've been playing Guild for quite a bit now, at least over a year and some change. And how quickly did you start playing Bass when you started getting into Malifaux?
He was the third keyword I picked up.
Yeah.
Onboarding people with their first experience getting executioners rammed down their throat or robots in their face.
Yeah, yeah.
9
And
extra inches on deployment is wild. I think it was flank. Jonathan, I literally was within 2 inches of the center point on
yeah,
deployment. Guild hates dealing with terrain.
yeah.
Terrain is like Guild's #1 enemy.
Frontier just doesn't care.
Yeah, Frontier does not care about severe terrain, and that's like the #1 thing Guild as a faction has trouble with. What really catapulted Sonya's win rate, especially Sonya 1, was the advance order.
Yeah.
You pick Bass 2 when you know you can't deal, when Bass himself cannot deal face tanking through the damage and dealing enough damage himself into the opponent's big beater. Bass 2 will tangle with that all day. Some interesting text on Claim the Bounty. It doesn't care whose scheme markers it
Yep.
is. Hey man, when your whole crew becomes defense 6 against guns, that feels pretty good. I've had chains of Jonathan and Bass just giving each other stoic nods.
If you
That
want to kind
is
of walk through
insane.
that real quick.
Bass's defense trigger. It's on a crows, tangled in the briars. The biggest thing that makes it so good is it's an after resolving trigger.
Yeah.
Push this model 2 inches away from the attacking model.
You done. You
Yeah,
played yourself.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It gets to the point where if you cannot get to Bass and, if you have to be within 2 inches of severe terrain, you just kind of go, the main reason I bring this version of Bass is he just locks down models, like specifically a model a turn. He can just turn that model off because you just go in, you challenge the model, get the crow trigger to heal yourself and pulse out staggered.
One order in the Badlands picked up like 12 markers.
He has a gun that ignores hard to kill, which is great for those stupid
Yeah.
models. And also, Twisting Tornado and some of the new models that each faction has gotten, I think, has allowed Bass and Frontier to play very brawly if they want to, which you don't think traditionally, but now they can, which is awesome. Oh,
I
yeah.
am going to be in your face for at least 2 turns, causing you problems. I have swung for 7 before with him. It is quite
Yeah.
nice.
Dead. You're dead, Jim. Yeah. So essentially, he's doing, if he wants, at least 9 damage a turn.
Yes. Nowhere else in Guild do I feel as pressured to have my triggers in my hand than I do in Frontier.
Yeah.
I've actually used a Frontiersman and a Sandworm to kill Lynch 1 before.
Just the fact that you can put out hazardous terrain, especially playing a lot of Bass 2, just like, oh yeah, I'm only 2-3-3, but if I drag you into the sandstorm, now you're taking a 3-4-4, damage track. So
Yep.
yeah, definitely good.
Yeah.
I have never not brought Clipper. He's just good. He is always going on the table. You gotta know he's coming.
It is entirely possible to have every model on a Guild Frontier list have armor. And wait, there's more. It gives out staggered to enemies near terrain.
Um, yeah, traps can really piss your opponents off. The biggest thing for me is
They're
if you can get a mask trigger with your coming with me, not only are you putting staggered on your opponent, but then you're pushing them back into their deployment 3 inches.
because I'm playing in red, because Jonathan and Bass and Pearl are busy punching my opponent in the face,
Yeah.
controlling their keywords, even bringing their flankers in to help deal with the problem that is Bass and Jonathan with coats. I use Frontiersmen rather frequently.
If you start adding too many versatile and out of keyword, you all of a sudden start losing that benefit.
For most deployments, it puts you far enough up the board where Bass's shotgun, Bass 2's pistol, Jonathan's like right behind him, staring menacingly over his
Yeah.
shoulder. because a lot
Yeah.
of guild models are just independent. I'm a dude with a sword and a gun. Frontier is lower on the durability tier than the rest of guild is.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. They like to dictate where the fight's going to happen
Mm-hmm.
and which models are going to be involved in it.
Fragile and surprisingly skill intensive. Frontier, if you want to play a fast game, if you want to be the aggressive player until you pick up Frontier.